Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Emmanuel Agbogun say CDA don't come back again for Edo State. They don't begin to collect people land, and the people where they do this thing so now Obaseki supporters. So make I leave you, make you hear from Emmanuel Agbogun.
Yes. Good morning, a very wonderful good morning to all my conscious Edo people across the globe. I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist, Comrade Agbogun Emmanuel. And as you all know, we all want a progressive, developing, and peaceful Edo State. That is why we will continuously lending our voice to condemn and criticize those things that do not meet up to expectation in our today's society. In fact, the reason why made me come out for live video this morning now because a whole lot of things don't they happen just barely few months as this government they come back for second term. And to be very sincere, everybody knows say me I'm not a fan of the government. I realize say even the governor is not even aware of some of these misdeeds. Now people will say that they support governor, we wrong, go say governor go win, they wrong, go hide, all those criminals, they wrong, go they say that they don't be supporting governor, they support governor. Now they don't use the influence of say that they close to SSG, that they close to deputy governor, that they close to governor, they go they grab people land. They go they grab people land. That is what they are not doing now. They are not grabbing over people's landed property, particularly those people that are not in the country. They are not, doing everything to ensure that they take their hard-earned resources, their hard-earned investment in the state. How can somebody buy land 5 years ago? You will now come out to say that the value in which the person bought the land is not what is supposed to be sold, and the person did not buy from the rightful buyer. For that reason, the person has to come and rebuy. This is what is happening. People will buy their property, they will fence. The other day I was in Okoromi. Somebody bought his property, fenced it, and going about how to gather money to develop the property. Because now lands in Okoromi along the road now is now selling for millions of nairas against what they sold earlier. They are now wanting to invade those people that have not developed their property. Even when we know that C of O, yes, is it everybody that can buy land that have money to process C of O, go through the pains of paying for tax clearance, paying for community development, paying for survey. So some of us as social crusaders, some of us as civil society practitioners, some of us as activists in the state, we will not allow people that we know that because of they don't have the intellectual requisite to challenge those evil oriented land grabbers we have. In fact, they specialize on lands. They do not have any other activities or any other engagement than to deal on community lands. It's no longer news. Some few weeks ago, you also heard the old man Pa Solomon Idausa land that he has bought from Enoge, bought from elders. In fact, he had issues. He went to the palace to the extent of going to the courts. He got a judgment in his favor. Yet some people that because they say that this is the only left land in the community, they say no, they must come and ensure that they share in what this man has already bought. And luckily, to make the matter straight, the most painful part of it is that the man is from that community. When other people are buying lands to resell, he is buying land to create investment, to create employment, to create a better life, through the economic fortunes of his people that he has acquired to himself. Now, instead of the people to see how they can key in to benefit from what the man is doing, all they want to do now is to be selling lands. All they want to do now is to be destroying the economic crops, some of which this man has planted for over 13, 14, 15 years. How can we say society will be unjust? Man will be wicked to his fellow man. Man Man will not want to ensure that they do anything than what they know how to do best. If they are not selling land in this community, you will see some of them, they will say that they are chairman of all chairmen. They will move from community to community, dragging people's land, dragging people. This morning, the first call that woke me up from a friend and a brother from Manchester was that his land in his Zebu community, they are at it again. They want to take charge of his property. And this group of people hide under the influence of the fact that they are friends to the governor. They are friends to the government. Supporting the governor does not mean that you go and begin to encroach into people's property. Supporting the governor does not mean that you will say because you know the government, because you are the corridors of power, you begin to infringe on people's rights. Selling over properties, forgetting about the generation unborn. When you must have finished selling over the properties, using monies, only God knows what for what, you will not come back to say that those people that have not developed must come and repay again before they start developing their lands. Is this not the highest level of injustice? Is this not the highest level of man inequality and man oppression against man? Very well, very, very well. We all know even the monarch, our monarch has come out in the open to say that anybody hiding under the guise of traditional institution in Benin City to intimidate developers, to carry out CDA related activities will not get the pat on his back from the palace. But what have we seen? Some of them go as far as lobbying to be Ohe, all because they want to continuously oppressing our people. Some of them go as far as lobbying from the palace to make sure that they want to be one Okagele, or they want to be one Osikpo giver. They want to ensure that they want to use that office to intimidate people. You go to the communities where they are selling lands in millions, they cannot even provide basic amenities for their people to live well in that community. Ordinarily, to grade roads, they cannot. To put gutters in front of houses that are developing in the community, to ensure that there is formal development in the community, they will not do that. But what they are good at is to embezzle money, carry money in the name of selling lands. You see them going to Abuja, you see them going to Lagos to sleep in 5-star hotels, big starting and pepper souping in all the corners. That enjoyment and tourist attraction is so visible. When they do that, they ensure that nobody can do them anything. Despite the fact that the Edo State government has set up a committee to protect private property developers, the state government have also set up an Edo GIS system to ensure that people secure their property. They are still not scared of the fact that government exists. And the reason for this is that some of them say that they are supporters of the governor. They belong to the Ogbane family. We don't know if the Ogbane family is to come and be intimidating people that are going there. Some people will travel all the way from here, from Benin City with their leg. They find themselves in Europe doing all sorts of menial jobs to ensure that they improve the standard of living for themselves and their family, and for them to acquire a property because they also want to own landed properties to move their family from where their family is currently residing to another state. Over a period of time, they buy land. When the land begins to appreciate, they don't want to sell, they want to develop it. People that sold the land to them will come in the disguise of community disputes. It was formerly in the hands of this community, now it is now in this community. They will begin to hijack people's property. People's property. How long can we those? How long can we be wicked? And people that are doing these things are the illiterate fellows we have in the society. The illiterate fellows that we have in the society, they are the ones going about this lawless attitude as against those persons who are well read. You go to some communities, from the head to the toe, they are all stark illiterates. All what they know how to do is Kyoto. Sell 1 by 2, sell 100 by 100, 50 by 500, 600 by 600. When the lands are finished, they resort into carrying out all forms of intimidation. These days now, they see that the money for a molu is no longer attractive to continue patronizing their frivolous and flamboyant lifestyle. What they now do now is they now resort to full-blown, land grabbing. You go to the land where somebody has put blocks, more than 2,000 blocks. The blocks have been there for over 4 or 5 years. The person has not been able to buy cement, to pay laborers to begin to put his building in place. All you need to do is to tell the person to come and rebuy such land, to come and pay. Or you say you want to relocate the person, there's somebody that wants to develop that land, he or she has paid money to the community for. What is intimidation is, again, if those sons and daughters who are doing all their best to ensure that they bring development back home, what else can you talk about intimidation if not this one that they are passing through? Somebody who bought land in Uzebu community, now because the land there he bought for I think 800,000, now the land is appreciated to the sum of almost 7-8 million. Now they are wanting to ensure that they do everything to intimidate such developers, to relocate them to the far underdeveloped area. Why they sell the lands to very, 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 very rich buyers that can pay the millions, that will further put them in the kind of flamboyant lifestyle that they are living. People just stay in the community, they constitute all form of lawlessness, and they try to legitimize it with their relationship with the government. How do we celebrate nepotism in illegality? How do we celebrate this kind of myopic and backward orientation? Go to other parts of Nigeria, the reverse is the case. But in Benin City here, they specialize in intimidation. See, the truth be said, the whole lot of our Edo sons and daughters no longer pick delight in investing in Edo State because of this sort of nonsense. Go to other states now, like Lagos, like Port Harcourt, like even Asaba here. Our people are now going to Asaba to buy property. Who will not develop Edo State? Who will not develop Edo State? Because when they buy, the same people that they buy from will gang up with others to resell such land and allow their wealth of investment to be thrown to the book of history. Meanwhile, when they go to other states to develop, you see them, they buy land, 20 years the land is still there. Nobody encroaches. But in their own home states, the reverse is the case. And people who do this thing, they romance day and night with the thick and thins in our society. How long, I repeat, can we continue to allow this level of impunity? This level of, you see them romancing with people in government. How long do we allow this sort of impunity to strive when people will be fighting against their own, when people will be doing everything to ensure that they oppress their own people? How long, I repeat, can we continue to wallow, to allow these criminals, these land robbers, these land grabbers, Omila, in Biro and paper selling land? How long shall we allow them to continue this impunity in our society? How long? Today you go to Abuja, you see those sons are ordinarily ought to come and develop beautiful buildings here. They are going to Abuja to buy lands in millions and develop it there, because they know even if they buy the land, nobody will encroach it for 30-40 years. The lands will be there. Then they come to their own home state, they want to develop, is a problem. So now this very morning, we are now compiling lists of those land grabbers, people that are grabbing people's land in various communities. We want to establish an open petition to the executive governor of Edo State. An open petition to the monarch, the Oba of Benin, because this particular style of land swindling and land grabbing exists more in Benin. This sort of land grabbing exists more in Benin City than any other part. So we want to open a frontline complaint channel where issues will be mitigated upon where our reports. Because you cannot allow people to invest their money, and at the end of the day, society is killing their interest. Society that ought to be, a mechanism to allow those people that have been able to work hard to excel. Now the society is the one killing it. So if you have complaints, you have bought land, they are encroaching into your land, they don't want to refund your money, they are reselling that land in the name of CDA or no CDA, in the name of boundary dispute or no boundary dispute, inform us. Inform us. We are ready to take up your challenges. Inform us to the appropriate authority and ensure you get justice. Because while all of these things are going on now, in fact, in Benin, one thing I've noticed is that in Edo State, they have made the police, to be another branch of economic venture in land disputes. When they know that the police have limited rights over land cases, now they will bribe. They bribe all, in fact, to every department, to ensure that when their cases are brought, they just allow the cases to dangle as if something is happening. At the end of the day, the matter will just die a natural death in the police. And what the police will do is that they want to charge the matter to court. When they charge the matter to court, it's a civil matter. So these are the issues. These are the issues, my people. And as a conscious mind in the society, we will not play host to such illicit activities. Rather, we shall be coming out in our numbers to condemn such acts. These days, when you tell people that you are going to report them to the government house committee, say, "I'm gonna go government house now, not be government who will support." They will tell you to your face, it is that bad. As if the governor is the one sending them to go and be taking over people's land. Or as if they supported the governor because they want to be grabbing people's sweat. Edo State belongs to everybody. And what guides us and gives us the right to live in this state is the law that we operate as a people, as a sovereign state. So if any group of individuals think that they are above the law because they are a friend to the government, we are here to let them know that we are in a lawful society. We are here to let them know that we are in a lawful society. People cannot derive pleasure in intimidating developers, intimidating people that have gone out to sweat. So my people, we are here to serve you. If you have such complaints, we are currently compiling a list of communities and individuals in those communities that are aiding and abetting these illicit acts. And I tell you, even when we know that our monarch is not around, the moment he steps into the state, we are going to do everything possible to ensure that we get his voice on this issue. Oba Atokpe, he said, because what our people are doing to younger generations, somebody who at the age of 20, 21, 22 will travel to Europe, spending 7 years sleeping on the streets, fighting to get documents, get a job for himself to help and advance the living standard of his family. Some group of people, after collecting 400,000, 500,000, will stop at nothing to ensure that they continuously intimidate these fellows. We are organized people. If you are looking for money, if you cannot go and engage yourself in meaningful ventures, you only have to sell community land and resell and resell and resell. Woe betide you if your name gets to us. Woe betide you if your name gets to us. Whatever level of destruction being meted out on such properties, we are going to charge you for malicious damage. We are going to ensure that we prosecute you for all forms of malicious damage. How can you go and be breaking somebody's fence when the person has paid community for the said property? For any economy in the world to strive, the effective use of land cannot be jettisoned. Imagine now, though people want to build house, landed property now, because of what is going on in Benin, they will go to Asaba. The laborers in Asaba is getting the money. The cement seller in Asaba is getting our money. The carpenters, name them. The sand sellers, everybody is getting money that ought to be in the economy of Edo State. We are taking it to other states. In millions. Just few days ago, a friend of mine called me and said, comrade, there's a property I want to buy in Sangwater. Once you are outskirts of Lagos. I don't know if you can help me. I'm not in Nigeria. I'm going to pay your flight tickets. I'm going to pay your transport fare and hotel accommodation. I want you to just be on ground to ensure that the processes that will transpire, in the transfer of this property is legitimately done. And I said, but why you don't invest this kind of investment for Edo State? Why you do? He said, no. You know what we saying? We're going to do now. The community will come with their own problem. This one will come with you. Very embarrassing. Why? I see this every now and then. The other day I had to go all the way to Asaba for somebody that wants to buy a property. When ordinarily that person would have acquired that property somewhere in Benin City and still develop it. I was very shocked when the man sent me a picture in less than 2 weeks that he has taken a house up to roofing level. I was perplexed. So my people, let us lend voice to what is condemnable in our society, and ensure we condemn it outrightly. I have said it and I'll continue saying it. If anybody is grabbing your land, do not immediately believe that going to inform the police or going to write petition is the best solution. No. And number two, if you have a land in Benin City, in Edo State, whether again Ebode, whether Okpela, any part of Benin, whether Ososun, whether name it, any part of Edo State. If you have a land, survey your land and apply for your C of O. That is another way of protecting that land, so that by the time they go and resell, both the seller who knows he's buying somebody's property at a higher price than what the person bought initially and developing it, both the seller and the buyer, all of them will lose what they have done, in as much as you have C of O over your land. So please, my conscious Edo people, do not hesitate to inform us. I can go on and on talking about cases, but if anybody is on your land, please ensure you inform us. Having said all of this, I want to let you know I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist. We shall continue to give in our best we shall ensure we continue to give in our best in as much as the issue relating to land and land disputes and human rights violation. You are listening to us, please do us a favor to share this broadcast. If you are a patriotic Edo son outside and inside Nigeria, please do us that favor to share this broadcast. Once again, I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist. Remember, making Edo a centerpiece for better life, making Edo a safe haven for all, is why we are here, advocating that the oppressors be shown the back door of history. So if you're here with us, please ensure you share this broadcast, share it, so that it will get to relevant authority before we commence our own action. Please ensure you share this broadcast. Once again, I remain no other person than yours, noble right activist. God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God continue to bless Edo State. God Almighty continue to protect our leaders, as the case may be. Oba Atokpeye is said. Bye for now. Please ensure you share this broadcast. Thank you.
Now wey you don hear from Emmanuel Agbogu, let us know wetin you think for comment section. And before you go, I beg make you help us share this video. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for dey current with all the things wey dey happen for Edo State. So make I leave you now with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching them ARG YouTube.